What's going on, my YouTube crew? It's your boy, the Film Scout, back at you with another video. I hope everyone is having an amazing weekend. We are here to discuss the movie Speak No Evil. Let's get into it.
We didn't bring our swimsuits. Oh, that's all right. You can keep your knickers on.
You shouldn't be shy, Louise. Got a great body.
Oh, thank you.
Speak No Evil is a psychological thriller written and directed by James Watkins. It is a remake of the 2022 Danish movie of the same name. Jason Blum from the Blumhouse Productions is the main producer of the film, along with producer Paul Ritchie.
Sense in which when Ben, who's a slightly more closed character.
Principal photography was conducted in Croatia and England for the film in May of 2023 and was supposed to be wrapped up by that July, but was delayed for 5 days due to the SAG-AFTRA strike that took place. They didn't get an opportunity to wrap up that portion of the production until November of that year. Quick side note, I was completely shocked when I did my research on this film to find out that the original film that it's based on is only 2 years older than this remake. Ordinarily, it would take years, if not at least a decade, for a remake of a film to happen. And I get that the original counts as a foreign film, being that it is Danish, so perhaps it's not the same thing as taking a movie here in the States and making a remake of that movie when it only came out 2 years ago. The likelihood of a studio or production getting behind that are slim to non-existent, but I get why the rules would be a little loose for a foreign film being remade into an American film. So a quick synopsis of the film is a family gets the opportunity of a lifetime for a dream vacation hosted by another couple that slowly but surely turns into a nightmare for the happy family. This is a spoiler-free video, so you're welcome. The film stars James McAvoy as Patty, Mackenzie Davis as Louise Dalton, Oceline Ferosky as Sierra, Alix West Lefter as Angus Dalton, Dang Hughes as Ant, and Scoot McNairy as Ben Dalton. McAvoy's performance as Patty was brilliant. He starts off chipper and welcoming, humorous and charming, but as the movie progresses, his true nature is revealed. Frankowski as Kira is calm, cool, and collected. She doesn't come off as a threat, very unassuming, even up until the end. Davis plays Louise as a confident, strong-willed woman who senses something isn't right with Patty and Kara from the start. Scoot's portrayal of Ben comes across as passive, almost like a pushover. I never really got behind Ben's character, even when he pushed through at the end. There was no part of the Ben character that was inspiring. Everything about Ben had me thinking, is this guy serious? Leffler as Angus is a fun, happy child, but may have anxiety issues, which plays an integral part in the plot. Hugh as Ant is very quiet and antisocial, seemingly one-dimensional at first, but becomes more energetic as the story progresses. Overall, the cast did a great job with each actor playing their part well. This is the first movie I've seen by director James Watkins, and his first impression was astounding. The direction felt masterfully crafted. I loved the panoramic shots. There was a scene where the camera moved with the actor rather than the actor moving with the camera, which gave off a tense feeling like something bad was about to happen. It's a technique I haven't seen in a while. Just the camera angles were really well done. The visuals throughout the movie are breathtaking. I'm a sucker for natural beauty shots, and this film spared no expense of those. Right at the beginning, we get these incredible wide shots of the countryside that they're in. You feel like you want to be there, which is always a good sign when a movie makes you want to visit its location. Though the film's principal photography took place in Croatia and England, it also showcased parts of Italy, which is very striking to look at. The music throughout the film complements each scene perfectly. Intense scenes had intense music, happy scenes had happy music, and suspenseful scenes were backed by a suspenseful score. Music that matches the tone of the film is very vital, and every track, with the possible exception of the last scene, matched the mood of what was happening on screen. The pacing of the film was consistent, especially in the first and second acts. The pace sped up in the third act, which is typical for psychological horrors, thrillers. I thought the editing was excellent. There weren't any scenes that felt choppy or dragged on too long. The pacing and the editing were timed perfectly, though I was slightly disappointed that the final showdown didn't feel more intense with the pacing. The writing and the dialogue of the film was nicely done. Throughout the entire movie leading up to the third act, Patty and Kira, well, mostly Patty, dropped messages in their conversation to Ben and Louise that was clearly made to give them warning to run away from them or accept the consequences for what will happen if they stay with them. The dialogue in the movie was written really well to convey the message to the characters and to the audience that everybody is in danger, whether you're oblivious to it or not. The movie's central theme is survival, but it also explores how people ignore warning signs that could have saved them from the danger. The message is clear. Trust your instincts. When something doesn't feel right, it's time to take flight. As an audience member, you can immediately sense the danger the characters are in, and you wish they'd recognize it sooner. For a psychological horror, the film doesn't fully embrace the horror element until the third act. The movie feels more suspenseful than horrific, and that suspense doesn't fully materialize until the second act. If the film had been too tense from the start, it may have tipped off the characters too soon. But I think the seeds of doubt planted in the first act could have been less subtle. Perhaps that's the psychological aspect of the film, making sure the audience and the characters are on the same page. If that was the goal, it was achieved, though I prefer a consistent suspense through a psychological thriller or horror. I'd recommend this movie to anyone who enjoys psychological thrillers or horrors, which are my favorite genres. The film was phenomenally done. So the psychological films I've seen this year are Longlegs, Cuckoo, Blink Twice, and now Speak No Evil. I'd rank Speak No Evil second, right under Blink Twice. Blink Twice felt like a psychological thriller throughout. It embraced both of the elements of its genre very early on, while Speak No Evil only embraces its horror elements in the third act. However, it stands above Longlegs and Cuckoo because all the elements that made the film great came together well in Speak No Evil. Speak No Evil is being released alongside Killer's Game, which I'll also be reviewing this weekend. My gut tells me Beetlejuice may win the box office for a second consecutive week. It performed well last week, and I expect a similar outcome this weekend. However, Speak No Evil could put up a fight, and it'll be a close competition. I'm rooting for Killer's Game to win because the film really needs a win. I can't wait to dive into its backstory and how that film came to be. The Killer's Game really needs to win the box office, you guys. For the plot, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. For characters and performances, I give it an 8 out of 10. For direction, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. For cinematography and visuals, I give it an 8 out of 10. For sound and music, I give it a 9 out of 10. For writing and dialogue, I give it an 8 out of 10. For pacing and editing, I give it a 9 out of 10. For themes and messages, I give it an 8 out of 10. For emotional impact, I give it an 8 out of 10. For overall enjoyment, I give it an 8 out of 10. Overall, I give Speak No Evil an 8.2 out of 10. This wraps up my review for Speak No Evil. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with my review? Were you contemplating seeing the movie? Did my review help you change your mind? I look forward to reading all your thoughts. Till next time, this is the Film Scout signing off. Peace.